The question of high power tariffs continues to linger on the lips of both commercial and domestic users. The decision by government to stop subsidizing power users in 2011 and the move by the Electricity Regulatory Authority to peg the pricing of power on market realities such as inflation, power tariffs started a steady ascent. Between that time and today, domestic consumers pay 667.4 shillings per unit of electricity from 385.6 shillings, while commercial users pay 587 shillings per unit from 358.6, and for industrial users, the rate is 369 shillings for large industries from 184 shillings. To the manufacturers, these figures are a real cause of frustrations and a big threat to growth.
We were earlier promised 5 US cents per kilowatt hour in the negotiations we had with the presidency. Instead of getting the 5 US cents, or at least 7 US cents per kilowatt hour, we were invited and called to be informed that power tariffs are increased by 19%.
The regulator insists that an increase was unavoidable, considering realities such as the foreign exchange rate, oil prices, and other factors that inform that tariff determination.
Just as an example, if we produce 1 unit of electricity, and let me say 5 US cents, there is no way electricity will be distributed at 3 cents. No way. One, it must recover the costs. One, the money that has been put in. Two, and then the other costs that are involved in the process.
The other bone of contention is the value-added tax charged on power, plus the fact that the alternative sources, especially petroleum products, are also taxed highly according to some observers.
And we are trying to push for, as civil society organizations, to push for to remove that tax that they were putting on carry on. And the argument was that they were going to use that money to supply solar and everywhere. But it becomes really costly now. So many private players who supply solar don't necessarily get, still charge as much more to put solar on for consumers and whatnot.
This leaves the power users without many affordable alternatives. In fact, the effect of the high power tariffs is directly felt in the high cost of production by the country's producers, with manufacturers being hit hard.
Tororo Cement, for example. Tororo is using approximately 13 billion Uganda shillings a year for power alone. Now, if we increase from 14 US cents per kilowatt hour to 16 cents per kilowatt hour, take the two, take it to put that percentage to the 13 billion, it translates into millions of shillings, big millions of shillings.
With the election period now very rife, promises have been made by candidates to address the issue of the high electricity tariffs. Amama Mbabazi says he'll scrap the 18% VAT on power. Museveni's focus now is on building more power dams to increase supply. Besigye will bring down power tariffs through renegotiation of production and distribution terms with power companies. Dr. Abed Bwanika has promised to build solar-powered stations and wind turbines to increase on the electricity generation in the country. Some of these promises the regulator, however, maintains are not feasible.
So if someone says they're going to cut it down, let them bring it here and tell us they're going to cut this level. And someone saying they will increase generation to 3 times the actual now in 5 years, let them tell us. Because building, let's say a mini hydropower plant, on an average, will take about 3.5 years. Okay? If it's a major hydropower plant like Karuma, you need 5 years and above. So which miracle is going to happen?
In as far as the solution is concerned, the executive director of the Uganda Manufacturers Association insists that one has to look beyond the confines of the country.
We should think of importing power, which is cheap. With due respect, Ethiopia is producing power at 3 US cents per kilowatt hour. Put on, transport costs. I'm talking about transmitting it to Uganda. Multiply it by 2. Make it 6 US cents. Add on handling charges. Make it 7 US cents. It will still be better on our side.
At the end of the day, the impact of the high electricity tariffs is not felt just by the consumers, but the very engines that drive the country's economic growth in the name of manufacturers, agro-processing plants, and transportation, among others. Ingrid Nantege, NTV.